Yeah, so tell me a little bit more about the structure you have with your hiring managers. You've got the hiring manager kickoff meeting, which is before you go out and start recruiting for the role, and then you've got these weekly check-ins. Can you just tell me a little bit more? Let's start with the kickoff meeting. What does that look like? What are you guys talking about? What are you figuring out?
Yeah, so we're kind of in the process of revamping the way we look at this. So Greenhouse allows us, it's something new. Maybe about 6 months ago, they incorporated kickoff forms um, to the system. And so we've developed a kickoff form that we send to the hiring managers prior to the kickoff call. And have found this to be really helpful because it gets some of those like must haves, need to haves, why is this open? Those types of questions, like, do you need a specific time zone? It just kind of gets those basic questions out of the way. So our kickoff meetings can be more productive and strategic. So I've found them to be really helpful because I'll review that kickoff form prior to the kickoff call. So I've got the job description, I've got the kickoff form. So I've got a really good amount of knowledge prior to that call. So then I use the kickoff call to really dive into some questions that I might have. But really what we've been using the kickoff calls for lately is to come up with a very intentional and thoughtful interview process. This is something that we're really working on building out. There hasn't been a lot of structure in the past, and we need to do a better job about giving those resources to our managers. And it's so great that we can do it one-on-one. For example, just being thoughtful about who's on the interview panel, why they're on the interview panel, what questions are they going to ask. A lot of interviewers, they don't know how to interview. And so going back to the candidate experience, the candidate might have 4 interviews and they're asked the same exact questions in every step because the managers, they don't know. So we're trying to get better about that. So I'll really ask, like, why is this person on the interview panel? What kind of value are they going to add? What attributes or characteristics are they going to focus on? And then after the hiring manager and I figure that out, then I send a recap email to the entire interview panel to kind of summarize what the hiring manager and I talked about. And that kind of proactively aligns us so that everybody's aware of their role in the interview process. I'll even provide interview questions at times just to make it really easy for them and to provide that resource. But then everyone has a focus area, and it's really great. And everyone knows, what step they are in the interview process and what they need to focus on. So that's how I kick it off.
And I think aligning on that up front is super helpful because then if there is any misalignment, you can address it up front, right? When you send your summary out, if people are like, not so sure about that, or, I'm confused about this, you can address it at that point.